Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Rena. Today I've got 6 of my favorite face palettes to share with you guys. These are mainly from Australian Drugstore. There's only one that you have to purchase from Sephora, but price wise they're very affordable. I think they're all under $30 if they're not on sale, and if they're on sale it could be half of the price. And they're actually 3 of them is from Australian cosmetic brands. I really enjoying using some of the local brands. I think just within Australia their products actually really been stepping up, and they're really good products, but it just because they're more localized in Australia, so they're not being mentioned that much around the internet, social media wise. So I think I'll give my shout out based on my own personal experience. These face palettes, some of them are really good contouring, like highlighting kit. Others are really good for a full face look, including eyeshadow, blushes and highlighter that you can take with you for travel, or you're just trying to minimize the number of product that you use after your foundation during this particular time. You can pretty much have one palette and they'll handle everything. If you want to know what are the products that I'll be mentioning, without further ado, let's just get into it and keep watching. I think I'll start with all the Australian products because they're mainly for Aussies. The first one I'm talking about is actually what I've been using on my face today. Is the AUSTRALIS AC On Tour Contouring Highlighting Kit. I've got in a color light complexion. They've also got a darker shade as well. I did a get ready with me early this morning with this look. So I showed the application during that video. If you want to know, you can check it out. I should be posted just the last video. And looking at the color selections here, it's got 6 different shades. 3 are actually contour and bronzing, and 3 are setting powder and a very subtle highlighter. Speaking of the contouring and bronze color here, I really do appreciate they put in a cool tone color here. That is perfect for contouring, particularly for Asian skin type. Most of the shades that you see in a face palette, they're towards to a bit of a warmer tone, because not everyone doing a contour, but everyone loves a bit of bronze, that the sun-kissed color. But they included 1 cool tone shades where you can use for contouring, or even for the nose contour, nasal contour here, and 2 other bronzing color which at different levels of warmth. This one is a bit more reddish and this one's sort of in between. So for me, I use this one to do a contour, and then I add this color, give me a little bit bronze. Sometimes depends on what I wear or how I feel, I might dip in this one a little bit, but this to me usually it's a little bit too reddish for my skin tone. And speaking of these lighter shades here, I've got a very subtle highlighter, so it's perfectly for everyday or beginner friendly. It's nothing too crazy, too shiny, but gives you that nice sheen when you turn your face towards light. And they have their famous banana powder for under eye. I really like they include a brightening powder in the face palette, because if I'm taking one for travel, one thing I want to make sure is my under eye area looks perfect, because that's where my problematic area is. I sometimes can skip with a foundation using a powder, or even using a BB cream or tinted sunscreen, but my under eye is always area that I want to look as flawless as I can. So this is the one that I really like, and this is one of their really famous products. It's one of their best sellers. I have a full size individual product, but it's in the other house. And the last shade here, it's got a little bit pink tone underneath, so I usually use it to set my whole face up, use it as a setting powder. I do like how they designed this with contour, bronzing, highlighter, under eye and a full face setting powder. And I can also use this palette to create a very basic eye look. I would say the only downside is it does not contain a blush color, which I know some people would die to have it in their face palette, but it's just not something that I have to have in my palette. Actually, I don't use blush every day. I do want to use a highlighter every day, and this is a subtle one, so I do really like this palette. If you haven't tried this, I think it's worth to give it a shot. When they're on half price sale, it's literally just a little bit over $10. Oh yes, and this one comes with the mirror, which I was covering by a different palette. I do like the size of the mirror. I think it's very travel friendly. However, the quality of the mirror, it's definitely not the best that I've ever used. So the mirror is a little bit of a disappointment to me, but I can definitely make it work if I'm on travel and I don't have any alternative to use. But it's not one of the best things they include in here. They could do better with the mirror. The next 2 face palettes are all coming from the same cosmetic brand, and that is the Australian designer brands. I've got one is their Christmas collection, which is a limited edition, but they do similar stuff every year. So I thought I'll mention it so you can know if you want to pick it up in the upcoming Christmas season. I can't believe it's Christmas. yeah, 3 months till Christmas. And the other one is a regular line Undergo all-in-one palette. I did a swatch on my Instagram recently. It's got really pretty pigmentations here, and you can see it has a lovely sheen to most of the colors. It comes in with 7 shades with an eyeshadow quad, a blush, a highlighter, and a bronzer. Their blush, highlighter, and bronzer, they all has shimmers in it. So when I look at this, I think it can give me a lovely sun-kissed glow. I would like to take this on travel because it can definitely create that shine, like, you know, blinks far away. The eyeshadow, the deepest color is giving me this reddish burgundy tone here. So I wouldn't use this as an everyday look if I go to work. I have another palette that I think is more subtle, it's more suitable for an everyday or like a school look. But this is pretty, and if you're someone love to play a little bit of makeup but nothing too bold, you want to change, play a bit different, or you're just bored of using the normal neutral eyeshadow face palette, I think this is a really good one, and I've been loving this. I don't think I'll get rid of this. It's always gonna be my collection. It's got a certain place in, and this is like $16.95 I believe, so it's pretty affordable as well. The other designer brand face palette is their holiday collection. This is their collection from 2017, I'd say. That's when I pick it up. It's called Shine Bright Base Face Palette. It comes within 5 shades. One is a cream, the other for a powder. So I've got a blush, I've got a lip and blush cream, and a contour, and 2 different highlight here. I don't think you ever get the exactly same palette, but the reason I want to mention here is because designer brands, they do holiday collections every year. I've been collecting some of their products every time over their holiday collection. I've got their lipsticks, I've got their 2 years lipsticks, and I found the one that came just last year. It was really good. I really do love their formula and the pigmentation and the lasting power, and it's very affordable as well. So if you like something like this in a palette, you can look forward to this year's Christmas collection, which is coming up in 3 months. I mean, yeah, I can't believe this year is almost all gone. There's so many holidays coming up, and then 2020 is all finished. I mean, I'm looking forward to finish 2020 because this is such a different year, but in the meantime, I just feel like I wish this year can restart, and then, yeah, restart. I'm not quite sure how about restart this year. But I just want to give it a shout out, so just look forward for their holiday collection. They've got some pretty eyeshadows as well during their holiday time. So moving on to all the other brands, they're not Australian based, but there are some really good products here. I've got 3. One is from the Tarte, which is not necessarily a drugstore, but this little quad here is very affordable. So price wise is almost like a drugstore price. And I've got the Balm and the Flower Beauty. Let's go with Flower Beauty first, because this is the cheapest among all the 3 I'm going to talk about next. This is their Flower Full Face Palette. It's another 7 colors face palette here. Got 3 eyeshadows, 2 blushes, 1 bronzer, and 1 highlight. So this is where I found Flower Beauty one is more suitable for a everyday look for like a student, or for someone like me working in a healthcare, try not to do too bold, or someone who just starting doing makeup that you're so afraid of making mistakes. This is a lot better because they even give you the name, like where you put everything, so you can basically just copy everything from here onto your eyes and face. Well, this one has a bit of shimmer in there, so you can definitely play with this a little bit more. But speaking of beginner friendly, I reckon Flower Beauty is a little bit better. And all the colors here is not very highly pigmented, so you can build it up and you don't have to worry like giving such a heavy blush on your cheek. And it comes within a cardboard packaging, which I really like because it's very lightweighted, so it's travel friendly, but you just have to watch out with the cap here. It's quite loose, so you want to make sure you put it nice and safe at the bottom of your toiletry bag and then put everything on top of it. To me, I reach this one more often than the designer brand because of how I like with my makeup, and the fact that I work in a healthcare area, I tend to go with very minimal looks if I can, but I think both of these has their own places. Alright, coming up next is the Balm in the Balm of Your Hand Volume 1. I've posted off a swatch for this one on my Instagram as well. I was doing a series of full face challenge, like what are the palettes that I recommend, and this is one of them. I do really like their packaging here. They separate the cream from their powder, color, which is such a bonus. So that's something designer brand was not doing. So this palette here is not designed for a full face, but I can use it for a full face look. It's supposed to put all their famous products in here, so you can give it a try out of the balm and decide if you want to purchase a full size, or you can dive into more of the balm products. I really like the whole idea of testing a lot of their different products, even like the shades from different eyeshadows, and to decide whether actually this brand and their performance is your cup of tea. The balm has a really good reputation in their pigmentation. Same with all these blushes here. I never put it directly on my face. I have to sort of blend it on my hands first, and then I apply it on my face. Just a tiny bit of blush, it can go a long way, and it has the perfect pigmentation. If you just go from the pot directly onto your face, I think it might be a bit too heavy-handed. So for that reason, I think maybe beginner friendly, not so much, but if you want to play with some of these, they're really pretty. Their eyeshadow here are all too dark. They're mainly give you like these outer corner shades here, or if you're trying to get a really smoky look, there's not enough of the crease color, or if you transition color. So I usually just use the bronzer color here to cover my whole lid, and then pick the color that I want to use, matches with my clothes. Even sometimes I use the blushes to neutralize warmth a bit of the eyeshadow, and then use the highlighter for the inner corner. With this palette, I do think they can work on their eyeshadow selections here. They could be putting a little bit more neutralized transition shades to make this whole palette a lot easier to use, that you don't have to reach out for other colors from different palettes to complete a full look. And it does come with a little mirror, although it's little, but the quality is way better than the AUSTRALIS face palette that I just mentioned. So for that reason, although the size are not winning, but the quality is definitely on top of it. And speaking of the other two cream products, it's actually one of my surprise findings from the balm. I know they have good powder shades, but I don't know how good with their cream. Until I bought this one, and you can see how much I've used this. And this is a cheek and lip cream, and it's just such a pretty color. It's a perfect nude with a bit of hint of reddish underneath. Nothing too bold, not like this one. This is a classic red sort of color, and the formula is just a normal lipstick. There's nothing surprising about this one. It's good, but not impressive. Because it can use it on your cheeks as well as on your lips, it does not fade it away as a lipstick. Even after you drink or eat, I love to wear this when I go to work because I don't have to worry my lips getting into different colors. This one just always keep my whole lip in a very uniform color. It's just pretty, and it gives this stain that I don't have to worry reapplying it. I literally don't even think about it, and it's not greasy, it's not tacky, and does not leave the, you know, the white line in between sometimes. I do want to repurchase this one in the full size product if I can find one, because I love this so much. I would like to take it with me for travel. The last one for today is the Tarte Tarteist Pro Glow to Go palette. I know the brand is not coming from the drugstore, but because this is a travel palette, it's actually pretty affordable in terms of price. I think it's cheaper than the balm that I just mentioned. And it comes within 3 shades, 2 highlighters and 1 bronzer. Tarte formula are really good. All 3 is very creamy, highly pigmented, easy to work with, and it's easy to blend on your face. I particularly like this highlighter here. It's called the Gleam. It's like a cool toned pink highlighter that I'm unable to find anything similar from drugstore or other high-end products. So it looks like this. I don't know if you can see well. I'll probably insert more photos here. It is just so pretty. Like every time I put this on my face, I feel like I'm more elegant. The thing with highlighter is I have a lot of drugstore products, and they're all working really good. Some of them beats the high end, some of them just itself perform so gorgeously, but every now and then you found that the colors are very similar. There's tiny bit of differences, but when you put it on your face, you really don't notice much. But this is the one that I haven't been able to find a dupe or like a alternative or similar color when I apply it on my face, and that is why I keep this palette in my collection. I just do think they create a great highlighting color here that is different to all the other shades. I feel like if you want to go to make a very unique outstanding highlighter these days is no longer the formula, it's no longer the finish, it's no longer about how shiny that you can get. It's actually the color, if it's gonna be different for all the other ones. That's what's gonna make people to remember this and trying to keep this in their collection, not declutter, because there's always gonna be a more affordable one. There's always gonna be a better, like, new released one that can replace your old favorite. This has been staying in my collection with a very unique place in terms of my highlighters because of the color. It's just different to all the other ones that I have. It also comes in with the cardboard packaging, which is so lightweighted, and yet they managed to keep a mirror in here with a great quality that you can use when you're on travel. Okay, so that's all the 6 face palette that I recommend. You can give it a try if you've seen them in the drugstore or seen them on the website and you are hesitating whether to give them a go. I think you won't be disappointed. They all perform so well, at least that's my opinion from my experience. I hope today's video is helpful and it was fun to watch, and if you enjoyed it, please give me a thumbs up and consider subscribe my channel. And yeah, I hope you guys have a good day and stay safe and stay positive. I'll see you until my next video. Bye!
Like a bird on a tree,